So today, we've been working on cars. We've been working on drawing vehicles, cars. I need to start boats. Yesterday was the first day with cars. So I'm going to be working on this car today. And we are doing this basic practice of identifying shapes. So only basic shapes in the image or in the object. So we're trying not to look at it as an object, but we're trying to look at it as like a basic shape that you all would see. So hey Blondie, how are you? Thank you for joining. So as I'm going through here, I am just going to be identifying some super basic shapes. Yesterday, if you were here with me yesterday, I think I really kind of kept forgetting to remind myself, hey Brandon, how are you? Thank you for dropping in and for the rose, my friend. I appreciate you. I think the reality is that I definitely I went into too much detail yesterday. I mean, it's still just basic framework, but I too many shapes are here. I mean, not that this isn't okay. Thank you, Brandon. I appreciate you. You too. Um, but I think that there, from an for it to be approachable, we really need to look at a much more basic shape profile. So, for instance, here I'm throwing down a rectangle across here and then maybe a triangle here. You know what I mean? Super, super simple. This silhouette is really gorgeous. Anyway, good morning, Janine. Oh, what was that? I just I feel like I just my voice just cracked. That's funny. I've been trying to drink. You had a hard time finding me. You went to my gallery and found the right button. No, I don't think it's age, Blondie. So that's actually something that I've noticed sometimes, and other folks have said it to me that they haven't been able to find me sometimes. So I think that it's not you. I think it might be TikTok. So I would say don't stress it. I definitely don't think it's age. And I was a little bit late today. Hey Jenny, thank you for the roses, friend. Oh, I think thank you. I think you just became the title gift of the roses. It doesn't tell me, but by the number, I'm assuming so. Thank you, my friend. You said TikTok is a class act. They are certainly strange. Let's put it that way. TikTok is definitely like they definitely um make things a challenge sometimes. So yeah. I am testing something out, y'all. Oh, Janine, guess what I'm doing? I'm co-streaming on the YT. But oh, it is showing. Yes. All right. I'm excited. I was thinking that it wasn't showing, but it's there. Yeah, so I'm using OBS. So let's see how that goes. Hey Tanya. Let me put my mug down. You have to go to work this morning? Hey Tanya. Are you back to work today? Are you on this? You're on. Yeah, I know. Oh, Janine, for sure. Absolutely, friend. I am This is, I set it up. I mean, I had set it up basically before, but yesterday, I just decided to, it's like you work on something and you don't take it across the finish line. So I decided to just take it across the finish line, try to get it done, and then I can perfect the stuff later. So I absolutely will tell you. I will tell you, my friend, how it goes. Um, I don't even know what's going on over there, so I don't know. Thanks for the sharing the live, Tanya. I appreciate you. All right, so like I said, I am going to start with um the most basic shape here, which is a rectangle. I think we're going to just go rectangle across here, and then I'll drop the other shapes in. So I'm going to start with a rectangle for basic for my body here, and then I go. Oh, yeah. Let me actually, Janine, yeah, that would be awesome if you could. Um, wait, I had to think about what my thing is on there. That's my handle on there. Midnight Moon, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Oh, you are the best, Janine. Thank you. All right, y'all. So if I'm starting with Crystal Joy, good morning. How are you? If I'm going to be starting with like that basic rectangle that I was talking about, here we go. Right there. So I am eyeballing size. And like I always say, in this practice, what I'm doing, and it may make it easier for you also, is whatever the first shape is that I throw down is the shape that I am going to use as the base size and placement for everything. So what we're doing is throwing down shapes and laying them down in proximity to each other, the first shape that I decide to throw down is going to be the thing that we use to measure proximity, proportion of all the other shapes. Chobani Mami, welcome. How are you? Good morning. Coach Jen Jen, good morning. Brick Spectrum, good morning. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. Midnight Moon, thank you for the follow. So, folks, just that the folks that are new to the room, my name is LeeAnn. I am an illustrator and a printmaker, and I started a back to basics drawing practice for myself. You said it, it's a weird name, but you just started your special needs. Welcome to Brick Spectrum. We're a Lego enthusiast family with through y'all. 3 neurodivergent boys. One with FASD, all 3 on the autism spectrum. Oh no, Brick Spectrum. I think it's not a weird name. I actually think it's really good. I think it's cool. It's interesting. I think it's a name that folks would certainly be curious about. Thanks for getting your heart, me, Coach Jen Jen. So I think that the reality is your 3 kids love drawing with Lego. So you're trying to find someone they can watch. Oh, that's awesome. So perfect segue. Let me just introduce myself because a few folks that are in here are new to the room. My name is LeeAnn. I'm an illustrator and a printmaker, and I started a back to basics drawing practice for myself. So what I'm here every single morning. I start at 9 a.m. Eastern. This morning I was a little tiny bit late. But what I'm doing every morning is oh y'all, I need to put my do not disturb on. My Amazon packages on the way, and they're alerting me. Sorry. I started a back to basics drawing practice for myself. So I'm here in the mornings doing beginner drawing practice exercises. Now the thing about what I'm doing is, even though I'm not a beginner, I am attempting to act like a beginner in this process. So one of the things I'm trying not to do is skip ahead. Even though I know 20 steps ahead, I'm not trying to move 20 steps ahead. I'm trying to really lean into each practice. Um, and I'm spending multiple days doing the same type of practice. So where we are right now in terms of a practice is the last several days. And Brick Spectrum, I'm going to show you this. I don't know if you let me know if this works for you in terms of what could be helpful. So the last week or two, maybe about 2 weeks, we've been spending time, I've been breaking down objects into simple shapes and placing the shapes down in proximity to each other. So the idea is shapes. Oh, Janine, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Because then I knew the video part. I knew because I had a setup, and then this morning when I went to go live, it was like messed up. So I will work on that. Oh, but I'm so glad everything else sounds good. Thank you, friend. So I am literally working on placing shapes. We're not thinking about anything else. We're not thinking about perspective. We're not thinking about um any level of detail. It's literally placing shapes in proximity to each other. So I mean, in terms of relation, we're building based on individual shapes, and then and I will come back to these at the next phase of the practice. So everything we do, I spend that couple weeks on every different thing. So we moved from simple shapes that are simple still life. We moved on to like more simple building facades, and then we started doing some building facades that had some depth, but again we're only approaching it from dropping down shape. So now yesterday we started working on vehicles. We started working on vehicles. So the thing I will tell you, Brick Spectrum, is what I'm doing is like walking through my practice. So I try to share as much information as I can as I'm doing it. And then inadvertently there's a learning process that's happening. So I'll talk about why I'm putting what where and that kind of thing. So if you feel like this might be something that's helpful, um feel free um to have them join me any morning. Hey, Jewelry with Me, good morning. Thank you for getting your heart me. My folks are dropping into the room and then dropping right back out. Folks are getting back to work. Um, so yeah, this is our car that we are working. Oh, you are still here. I was like, I thought you were in and out. I'm doing well. How are you? Thank you, Brick Spectrum. Looking forward to it. And your name is awesome. I'm a Lego lover myself, friend. I've got um several things around here. But yeah, I'm doing good today. I'm not gonna complain, y'all. I was about to say something and I'm like, I'm not complaining about weather. Not when I know some of y'all are hot. right? I mean, cold right now. I'm not complaining. Good morning, Black Lotus. How are you? I have to. Sage Grey Wolf, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Black Lotus, thank you for getting your heart, me friend. Oh, jewelry with me. Thank you for the Go Populars. Okay, Brick Spectrum, I definitely get it. Sage Grey Wolf, thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. Oh, jewelry with me, thank you. I haven't added any yet this week. I'm trying to add like 3 to 4 songs every week so we can some additional variation. All right, y'all. So if this is my basic shape here, my basic rectangle that I'm using, going to go ahead and I'm doing a rectangle here, and I'm going to throw down a triangle actually right here. If you see that, the edge of my rectangle would be here. And then shape wise, I'm going to throw down a triangle right here. Again, very basic shapes we're trying to identify. Black Lotus. Yes, my friend, I was late. I was late this morning. I'm actually usually very precisely on time. This morning I think I was about 15 minutes late, but I will be here at 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow. But I'm here now, Black Lotus. I'm here. Rach, welcome in. Thank you for joining. So, folks, I'm going to now throw down this triangle. There are a couple things that I would probably do to gauge the size of this, right? I could measure where I'm laying down my rectangle. I could measure that length and then measure the the distance between the tip of the triangle here, the distance between the tip of the triangle that I draw here to the edge of where I'm going to where I threw down the rectangle, get a sense of what that is, and then I can say, all right, this is how much out it's going to be. But frankly, I'm just going to eyeball this one, y'all. Because there's a little bit of a combination of eyeballing and measuring that I'll do, partially because Miss C. Arnell, welcome in and thank you for joining the Inky crew and thank you for getting your heart me. Um, it's a little bit of, I'm a decent eyeballer, and the other piece of it, using the ruler and the rulers or tools. The other piece of the message that I like to say is, if you need to use tools or if you want to use tools, use them. Do not feel like you don't or shouldn't use any kind of tools. Don't feel like that's something that you don't want, that any don't feel any pressure not to use the tools that you need. So feel free to use them. So in this case, I'm not going to use the ruler. I'm just going to eyeball this one. Hello, welcome in. Thanks for joining. Nika Grace, good morning. So Charlotte, welcome in. Thank you for joining. So for the folks that are here new, my name is LeeAnn. I'm an illustrator and a printmaker. And I started a back to basics drawing practice for myself. And third. And I'm here every morning doing basic beginner drawing practice exercises. For the purpose, original intent was for me to kind of get back to basics, get back to the fundamentals, get back to some technique that I hadn't touched in a long time, and really also lean into each segment of practice. Thanks for getting your heart, me, Nika Grace. Really lean into each segment of practice. Lots of things have come up in a back to basics practice, emotional things, tactile, physical things, lots of things have come up, which have been really awesome. But at the end of the day, the reason I'm doing this is so that I can come up with some fresh new ideas for a new illustration style. And also, y'all, these trolls come in this room and just get on my nerves. And also, as I am doing this practice, I'm walking through the steps, the things I'm thinking about, and so it has inadvertently become like a communal learning space, because the folks that are in the room that have experience, um the folks that are in the room that have experience, are contributing to the conversation. The folks that don't or might not be interested in a drawing practice, some folks are just here to listen to the music and to hang out with us, and we have lots of conversation. So it's a little bit of everything going on. So I implore folks, feel free to drop questions in the chat, like non-identical geo. I'm sorry, I just really messed that up, didn't I? Welcome in. Thank you for joining. You said I'm going to art school for illustration. Any advice? Y'all, I'm just getting this fool out of here. Moses, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Any advice? I guess, let me see. Okay. So the thing I would say, and again, folks that are experienced, folks that, whether you're an experienced artist or not, if you feel like you have some good advice, drop it in the chat too. Any questions that get asked, feel free to contribute to the response and the conversation in any way, shape, or form. I never profess to be someone that knows it all, so I always welcome other perspectives. I would say to you, try to approach it with an open mind, and don't put, it's a challenging thing to say, right? I'm saying don't put too much pressure on yourself, but it's school, right? So there's a certain amount of accountability and pressure that you're going to be putting on yourself. But I think the biggest thing that I hear people say all the time, and that was my own experience, is that when it's time for like critique and those types of things, to really take a step back from it and not take it personally, and take it as an opportunity to learn and grow. In general, I think when you create work of any kind, whether you're new or experienced, you're pouring a part of your soul into it, even if it is something that's assigned for school. You know what I'm saying? There's an element of your person that you're putting into the work, and so critique, even really great constructive critique, can feel, it can feel personal, and it's not. So what I would say to you is, every time you kind of feel that right here, you feel it right here, you feel that jab, just take a step back from it, and remind yourself that it's an opportunity, for you to learn and grow, and also there's this middle ground between accepting the critique, and remembering also that you have a unique perspective on things sometimes, and if you need to push back a little bit, try do that sometimes. But again, sit right in the middle. Don't lose yourself because of critique. Let's put it that way. I don't know. I hope that's helpful. From a like a general advice perspective, that's the first thing that comes to mind. If anyone else has had experience with being in art school, or in general, if you have any other advice, feel free to drop it in the chat. MJ writes, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Sarah Bear, welcome in. Thank you for joining. So again, folks, if you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. And I do look up quite frequently, so I will be checking the chat. All right, y'all. So I'm throwing down this triangle here as my basic shape on my front bumper for this front area here. And then I'm going to throw down a triangle back here too. This is a basic, thank you for the follow. This is I'm throwing down a basic shape of a triangle here too. The thing I will tell you is this triangle is going to be extended out here. I'm not using that piece, right? In the second round of edits, in the second round of refining this sketch, I will cut that out. But for right now, from a basic, simple shapes perspective, this follows the silhouette of a triangle. So I'm going to drop a triangle down there. Let's see now. How far out do I get my triangle? Let's see. Actually, one of the things that I am going to kind of measure is thank you, Nika Grace. I appreciate you. Hey, Natty Nat! Yo, Natty Nat is back. Good morning, Natty Nat. We missed you, my friend. Y'all, Natty Nat is back. The Wandering Mystic, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Thank you for getting your heartbeat friend. So the one thing I am going to look at here is where our point, I'm sorry, y'all, the point for this triangle, I want to see where it lines up with the point for this triangle. I want to look at that relationship to figure out where I'm going to drop my triangle. As I started drawing it, I was like, wait a minute, I need to figure out where I'm dropping that triangle. So if I was to just take a ruler, or I could eyeball it, but I'm going to take a ruler and set up a straight line. Look at that. The edge of my rectangle, my triangle here, sits right about where, when I push this triangle out here, it sits right about at the same place. So this helps me achieve this angle here a little bit more accurately. Tony, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Oh, Blondie, you were thinking about Natty Nat last night. Natty Nat is back in the building, y'all. So if I line this up, this is where my extended triangle is going to sit. So I'm going to line up my angle here with that. So again, what we're talking about here on a daily basis is going to be about the relationship of the shapes to each other as well. Uh-oh, Natty Nat, you came back and leveled up. as soon as you come into the room, my friend. We were waiting for the level up. Congratulations. Art Matrix, welcome in. The Life of Christ, welcome in. Good morning. Oh, Nancy Nat, so good. It was low key. That makes it really good. It was super low key. So that was good. I enjoy the super low key life. Joyful Rising. Heather Bridwell, thank you for the follow. How was yours, Natty Nat? I hope time away, rest, all that stuff. Life of Christ, thank you for getting your heart me. And Natty Nat, thank you for those 2026s. Angelina, welcome in. Susie Yeezy, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Jamarific, welcome in. Thank you for being here. Y'all, I'm trying to see if I'm missing anybody else. Please don't be alarmed when you see this strange look on my faces because I gotta do a little bit of focus things going on so I can see. So I can see. So don't be alarmed. It's because I'm trying to see over here. I'm trying to read the people that are in the room to make sure I'm not missing anyone. And frankly, I should have my glasses on. So that's what those weird looks are for. Okay? Just an FYI. B, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Leanie in AZ, welcome in. Thank you for joining. See, some letters I can see really, really clearly. Tina Louise, welcome back. B, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you. All right, so now I figured out where my triangle is going to end here. And then I'm going to, what did I say? This was the end of my, sorry y'all, I forget that y'all can't see what I'm doing when I have it over there. This was the end of my, this is here. This is here. And then down here, actually, if I think about trying to create, again, remember, the triangle took us outside of the actual image, which is fine because when we go back in to refine the sketch, then we'll capture the true curve of the line there. But right now I'm trying to figure out basic shape, and I'm gonna go ahead and do upside down trapezoid business going on here. So I am going to throw that down right here. I know my triangle goes out too far, so I'm not going to take it all the way out. So I'm going to do that for right now. Will I have to maybe refine some of that later? Yeah, but that's basic shape. I could have even gone a little bit different in terms of basic shape, but that's still quite basic shapes. All right, so now we have live goal, not mean mugging. I'm just trying to make folks know Life of Christ. Pals, welcome in. Thank you for getting your heart me. And thank you for the shares, y'all. I appreciate it. Oh, look at that. I need to make sure that I reset my life goal. Thanks, y'all. Y'all, I think I made my head. Fresh Print 6, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Joyce Smith, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. This thing that I have on my head, I think it might be too tight, y'all. Honestly. Yeah, I might need to. Y'all might need to give me a break because the I don't know why I tied it that tight. I don't usually. I'm very conscious of that. All right, let's reset the goal and then get back to our drawing. I'm not gonna call it what it is because we're not supposed to be identifying what it is. We're supposed to be identifying the shape. So I'm not gonna call it what it is. This gorgeous silhouette of a, not saying it. Courtney Lyric. Ah, Courtney, so many things. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for joining the Inky crew and getting your heart me. And Courtney, am I is this the first room that you've ever done this in? It says first gift. That usually means that this is the first time you've ever joined someone's fan club or sent a first gift. Courtney, I'm gonna give you some cheers. Let us know. I'm gonna give you some cheers in 1 second, Courtney, if I can get this thing to work. There we go. Welcome, Courtney. I am honored. I'm honored to be the first room that you've given your first gift in. I really appreciate it, and thank you for joining the crew here. Debbie, welcome in. Thank you for joining. All right, y'all. Let's get back to so for especially for the newer folks in the room, if you feel comfortable, tell me a little bit about I am located about where you're located and be as generic and general as you feel comfortable with. I am located in South Florida. I'm located in the Fort Lauderdale area of Florida. I'm an illustrator and a printmaker, and here in the mornings I'm doing basic, like beginner drawing practice exercises because I started a back to basics practice for myself some weeks ago, and so I'm here every morning doing super beginner drawing exercises and kind of walking through what I work on. So feel free to ask questions. And again, if you're new in the room, let me know where you're watching from if you feel comfortable. And you can be as generic as East Coast, Midwest, West Coast. You know what I'm saying? Northeast. Whatever level of detail you feel comfortable sharing. All right. So, hey, Chef Tanya. You have a busy morning. Okay. Like every time you come in here and say busy, I always say busy is good. Have a fabulous day, Chef Tanya. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Be easy. What's up, friend? How are you this morning? Cannot keep track of the delays on this thing are so strange. Unapod y'all. Unapologetically 804. Ruby H's mom. Good morning. How are you? All right, so shape. Where do we go next? Let's throw down these circles for these wheels. So even though we had even though y'all, you know what I realized? I completely made this line. It's like super tilted. So now I have to make sure I keep the paper tilted so I get the straight. Something just happened. Something. Ooh, Nika Grace, thank you for the hand hearts. I was like, something happened. Did you level up, Nika Grace? The delay on TikTok Live Studio is wild work. Thank you for the hand hearts, Nika Grace. I think you leveled up. No, you didn't? Oh, sorry. Unapologetically 804. I thought I saw a level up notice. You might have. I thought I saw something flash that was the level up thing. Danielle, thank you for joining. Okay, Nika. I don't know. I can't keep. I The delay is weird. I think it might have. Oh, that's what it was. You flew in. Sometimes it does show the fly in. So that's what it was. You flew in. That's what it was. Hey Charlene, good morning. Thank you for the heart me. I was about let me see. Ruby H. I said good morning to everyone. Yep. If someone is in the room and I didn't say hello to you, feel free to drop an emoji in the chat to let me know you're here, because sometimes folks don't show up in my list, for it's like delayed sometimes. So yeah, I drew the line at a slant, which I'm not really sure why I did that. You are new. Yes, Anapod. Why do I keep messing that up? Unapologetically 804. What's going on this morning? All right. So for the folks that are newer in the room, my name is LeeAnn. I am an illustrator and a printmaker. And in the mornings, I started a back to basics drawing practice for myself. So in the mornings, I am here doing beginner drawing practice exercises. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Folks that are new, feel free. You'll get to learn that all questions are welcome. If you have questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. We love a conversation in here. So if you have a question, feel free to drop it. Um, and if you are interested in just kind of hanging out with us, feel free to do that also. The only thing that I ask of folks that hang out in the room with us is that while you're here, you keep tapping that screen to ensure that we get our like count up. And so Nika Grace just said we just got to 10,000 likes. I think we're at 11,000 now. So if you keep tapping that screen, the like count goes up, and the more likes that TikTok sees, the more TikTok pushes us out. The more engagement we have in the chat, which again, we love a conversation in here. So feel free to drop questions. If we're discussing a topic and you feel like you have contribution, feel free to drop that contribution in the chat. Dead Dolls, my friend, how are you? Dead Dolls, are you back at work today? Is today the day that the rush starts? Let me stop reminding you of that stuff. How are you, my friend? Thank you for the rosa. I don't even have to look. I saw it. I'm only teasing. I was going to say, I don't even have to look. And I can say thank you for the rosa, but I had already seen it. You said sleepy. Back to work. Oh, TT, welcome in. Thank you for joining. I know it's like reality set in for so many of us today. Because even though I work from home and I was working over the holiday, I was definitely in go slow mode, you know? So today it was like, all right, back on track, focused, race to the finish line. Not quite, but you know what I mean. A different kind of focus now. You got your desk set up. That's awesome. So you're ready to go. Good. Because I know it's you probably won't have time to get the desk set up in the near future. All right, y'all. So I'm twisting my paper so that this can be straight. All right, so if we approach it the next shape. So one of the things I did yesterday, y'all, let me tell you, yesterday after the live, I was like really, I don't know, discombobulated, I feel. I think no. I wasn't discombobulated after the live. I was discombobulated, I feel like, during the live. Because what I've realized is I've been coming here to do my practice. And there's an element of this where it's like I even though it's my own practice, I am laying things out, and I feel like to be responsible in some of the conversation I'm having. Yesterday was a little bit too fly by night for me, and I didn't remember that I needed to keep it simple. So I did do more of this. If you were here with me yesterday, I said I was going to finish this, the basic shapes laid down yesterday. So this was a car we were working on yesterday. But I really thought it through, and I was like, you know what? I need to be a little bit more, I don't want to use the word strategic, but plan a little bit more for the live so that I can flow a little differently. I want to be able to give you all as much, like the from the educational value perspective. I want to be able to give you all as much as I can while still doing my practice and managing the engagement part of it. And what I thought to myself is I need to do a little bit of the thinking through beforehand so that I remember may not be the right word, but you know what I'm saying. Thinking through of like breaking down my shapes with the images that I'm using, that kind of thing, for example, beforehand, so that I am not, my brain gets tripped up sometimes when I'm processing out those things. So this way, I have a little bit of, I've thought it through already, so I kind of know what shape I'm gonna throw down there. And then this way I can focus more on being clear about what I'm articulating to you all in terms of what's happening, and also engage. So let's see what happens. I think I will be in a better place. I think I'll be able to get more done, so you all will see more and get a little bit more value from it. So also feel free to let me know if you notice a difference. Like at the end of the live, for the folks that do stick with me for the whole thing. Frost to T Art. I'm sorry, I totally messed that up. You're gonna have to tell me how I pronounce that. Hearts for Maya, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Be Easy came in, but I don't know if Be Easy is here. All right, so the next shape that is oh, I said I was going to do the wheels. So let's do that. Let's think about placement. For now, I am only going to do the shape of the wheel itself, like the tire. Now, y'all, I don't even know if y'all can see the differentiation of the tire from the wheel well. So you're gonna have to trust my judgment for a little bit because I don't think I can get it. Um, oh, Charlene, have an amazing day. Thank you for resetting a little bit with us, and then have an awesome day at work today, Charlene. Take care. And so I'm going to just lay down the the circles for the tires, like the tire size. So here I am going to use my ruler to get a sense of ratio, like proportion to the original. Like, if you remember what I said, whatever that first shape is that I throw down, which was in this case it was our rectangle here, that first shape is going to be the basis for all the other decisions for the most part, because that's what we're gauging proximity, we're gauging, size, all that based on the original shape that we laid down. So now I'm going to just use the ruler to get a sense of what the full width of that rectangle is, and then what the diameter of these circles would be, and where do they fall in terms of placement too. So I'm gonna do that. And y'all, if you cannot see this, like if you can't see the drawing or if you can't see the screen at any point, let me know, so I can make the adjustment, because my view of what you all see is slightly wider. So sometimes I think you all can see something, but you can't. So if something is not shown, just drop it in the chat for me. All right, so the width of my rectangle here is it's just shy of 5 centimeters. So I'm just gonna go with that just to have a like a general. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. The reason I said I shouldn't have done that zoom in is it doesn't keep the same size. So me measuring, actually no, I need to put it where the 5 centimeters still matches. All right, now I have to adjust it because I can't. Oh, there we go. All right, this is about where I had it. All right, now for the wheel, we're looking at just a little bit smaller than 1 centimeter. It's a pretty wideish thing here. So if this is 5 centimeters, and each tire circle is a little bit shy of 1 centimeter, I'm gonna split my rectangle in fifths as best as I can. I always throw down a halfway mark because we will probably use the halfway mark at some point. But let's see. I'm eyeballing y'all, so forgive me. I'm gonna have to make, yeah, that's too wide. I'm doing some eyeballing for these fifths. All right, I'll take that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is the width of a wheel. Now placement. The width of a wheel is a little bit shorter than that. So placement. Now let's see. This is our rectangle. This is the bottom of our rectangle, and it hits maybe about a third of the way. It's not a half, but it's about a third of the 2/3 down from the top here. So this is about a third of the way up. If we were to split that tire, that wheel into 3, this bottom section of what is our rectangle would hit at about a third of the way. All right, so this is going to be a third of the way up. The width of this is about a little bit less than 1 of this. That's the diameter of our wheel. And Signing Circus, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Welcome back, Nika Grace. IB Fly 7, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Now I need to figure out where the placement happens. So this is our rectangle. I'm eyeballing this one, y'all. Which is why I'm like, all right, I think I'm going to throw one here. And then this one. Actually, this one is not as difficult because it's pretty close to. All right, so I have a general idea of where I'm throwing my wheels. So now I need to get this measurement. I need them to be just a little bit smaller than this because this is our 1 centimeter diameter, and it's a little bit smaller than the 1 centimeter diameter. So If I throw this here, let's do it that way. That's a little bit smaller. Y'all, the fingernail is not super accurate. So, okay. The Life of Christ. The phone was blocking the sketch. So what I did was, um, since the diameter of the wheel was about a centimeter and the width of the rectangle is about a fifth, I split 5 centimeters. I split the rectangle into five, and then each one of these would be, it's not quite 1 centimeter. So each one of these would be the diameter of that wheel. So I just did my fingernail measurement and threw it down here. So this is about the diameter of the wheel here. And then I know that a third of the wheel falls down from here. And then the top of the wheel hits a third. Look at that. It's about a third of the way down from the top of the rectangle. So I had already marked the rectangle in thirds. Life of Christ, let me know if I answered your question. The thing that I was blocking. The Painted Fox Studio, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Bodhi, thank you for joining. Welcome in. Hello, Rod. How are you? Rod, you did a awesome Life of Christ. Rod, you did a tutorial last night. Rod, are you still here? Yeah. You did a tutorial last night. Are you gonna do it again? I missed it. Are you gonna do it another one like that again? Hey, Maximalist, welcome. Thank you for getting your heart me. This is for my own personal use, Rod. I sighed and I was, yes, February 8th. Okay, perfect. I'm gonna put it on my calendar to make sure I look out for when you do the live event so I can register. Y'all, Rod Parker, brilliant artist. Oh, see, you already have your time too. Okay, perfect. Thank you, Rod. Brilliant artist and does great tutorials. Goes live every day, y'all. So please follow Rod. And also, I mean, like, gorgeous, gorgeous work. I'm not joking. Hello, Allison. Hello, Alimo's Art. What's the question mark for? They did good last night. Oh, that's awesome. All right, I definitely want to make the next one. I saw it and I was like, so I'm putting it on my calendar. I start at 9 a.m. Eastern now, Allison. No more 8 a.m. Sorry. 9 a.m. is better. Oh, I start at 9 a.m. and this morning I was a little bit late. I started at 9:15 this morning. So yes, I got yelled at a couple times already this morning for being late, which is interesting. Sorry, y'all. Sorry. Quite a few people have said something. Rod, I know. I'm like, I switched the time 8 a.m. to 9 a.m. It has been much, much better all around the 9 a.m. time. But this morning I got on at 9:15 and it created some problems for folks. You said how I get you hooked and then switch the supply. I think there were a few times. Oh, Rod, and this one, Alimo's Art, she will definitely give me a beat down. This one, Rod, she'll definitely give me a beat down. All right, y'all. So this is my mark for my diameter of my wheel. I said the top of my wheel. Where did I say it hits 2/3 up? So really, Look at that. Like, I'm gonna hit my tire thing is gonna. Mm, this might not be the best placement, but it will work. Oh, it's not so bad. You said the spicy ones keep the live alive. Tanya, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be on your way to work or at work. Didn't you say goodbye? Tanya's like, are you on the subway? Are you like dropping in? Rod, let me tell you though, you're at your desk. Y'all are playing. You all are playing with fire these days. So many people listening from their desks at work nowadays. Y'all be careful now. Your boss is gonna catch you. Feral mom flips her phone over. Flip your phone over. You need to get yourself some um earbuds. Hey, be easy. Flip your phone over or hide it. Get yourself some earbuds. That's what Feral Mom does. Be easy. I was wondering. I was like, Be Easy's in the room, but how are you doing this morning, Be Easy? Let me see. Let me make sure I'm not missing anybody here. All right, so we're good here. I mean, I might have made it a little bit bigger than I intended, but we're gonna go ahead and go with that. So that's our top of our wheel line, and then I'm just gonna throw that circle down here again. So not super precise, but from a placement perspective, you saw what I did. Where's the top of the wheel wellish going on here is about a third of the way up from what we identified as our initial triangle here. So if I split the triangle into rectangle, if I split the rectangle into three, which is I kind of did that here, this is the top of our combined wheel and wheel well. So that's how we got that. Then the diameter of that section there was about 1 centimeter when I took the ruler here. And then again, that width of the rectangle was about 5. So I split the rectangle into 5. And then we made an approximate Rod, ever tried using a grid? I have in the past, even grid paper. You know, now that you're saying that, I'm thinking to myself, that I'm going to bring a grid in here because you know how I keep saying I'm trying to do it like I'm a beginner? Some of what I'm doing, now that you say it, even from a more fundamental perspective, it would make it easier if I use like grid paper for folks. Um, so now you've added something. It We're not talking about perspective yet, Rod. We don't know perspective yet. We're super new. We don't know perspective yet. I'm not bringing the perspective conversation in here. Ignore perspective. We don't know anything about perspective yet. I'm trying to pretend, Rod, but I will bring the grid. Every day I'm like, y'all, perspective. We don't know it yet. Remember that. I am going to bring. Now that you mentioned it, though, Rod, I am going to bring the grid. Right, exactly, Rod. But I am going to bring the grid into the conversation because as soon as I read what you wrote, I was thinking to myself, you know what? A lot of what I'm lining up here, I keep telling people to use the tools, the rulers, the whatever. The grid is another tool that we can use. So, y'all, tomorrow I'm going to bring grid paper. And so it will be the same process that we're doing, but on the grid paper, it will make it a lot easier if you want to start with grid paper as well. Thank you, Rod. Appreciate you. This is what I'm talking about, y'all. This is a communal learning space. I didn't even think about that. So, um, that will be an awesome tool, again, in addition to rulers, in addition to all the other things that we've been talking about in terms of using tools. And again, you even if you are someone that has some experience, don't feel like you cannot use the tools. Why not? Um, I know lots of folks have lots of things to say about that, but use the tools if you need to use the tools, or if you want to use the tools. If it makes it easier for you, use the tools. But a lot of what we talk about is using the tools repetitively, and the repetitive practice will get that into your muscle memory. So grid paper comes tomorrow. So we'll rotate with grid paper, and especially now that we're doing vehicles at folks' request. So thank you, Rod. Freddie Fazbear, welcome in. Who else? Maximalist, did I say good morning to you? You see what Rod's saying there? Don't listen to none of those people who have negative things to say about utilizing tools. Don't. Because I'm not going to say what I'm thinking. But at the end of the day, it's like I tell y'all, whatever you feel like you need to learn, I did. You'll take another. Hello, Emma. This time I call you Emma. Whatever you feel like you need to learn, whatever you feel like you want to explore, from your practice perspective, we're in a new, I mean, we're in a time where resources are available in abundance. And I just feel like you can get the learning of one thing from so many different places, so many different perspectives. And I think it's important to kind of get a few different perspectives, because y'all, if you're not careful, you might encounter not all folks that are walking through, especially that are supporting beginners, are folks. Some folks have a very specific idea about what it means to be an artist and a good artist. And those folks tend to discourage folks a lot. Folks get intimidated or feel like they're not good enough. So, like Rod is saying, um, like I tell you all the time, use the tools if you need to use it. Even forget about need. Even if you don't need to use them, if it makes it easier for you and you want to use it, use it. So yeah. All right. Well, we have our circles here for our, now it's like a combination of our tire and wheel well, because these tires are pretty big. But remember, we're pretending that this is not whatever it is. I mean, I know what it is. We're not just not saying it. We're pretending it's something else. All right. What's next? All right. So now I need to figure out where this, we did the, that's it. I'm not going to do any more detail for the bottom half of the vehicle. We'll add the detail at the next phase of our beginner people practice. Now I got it. Great artists steal, but dangerous artists don't. Can I curse on here? I think I can. I don't know. I don't have my 18 and over. Anyway, y'all know what that means. Don't give up about what people think. Oh. Which, Rod, what book is this? Please tell us about the book, because then I can add it to our list of resources, Rod. We like a nice message like that. Great artists steal. Rod, is that a play on steal like an artist? Oh, wait. So I know you mentioned this before. This is 47 Laws of Power is not out yet, right? Please, if I remember correctly from the last, when I was in your live the last time, it's not out yet. You're working on it. It's almost there. You're working on volume 1. Okay. So we have to look out for that. Great artists steal, but dangerous artists don't give up. 1:15. That's soon. 10 more days, y'all. Volume 1. Don't about what people think. I love that, Rod. All right. Volume 1, 10 more days, the 15th. Mary Cats, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Be easy. You said you're doing good. I was about to say you didn't answer me, but I see it. 4 separate books, but make up all the laws. I see. All right. 1 to 12 are about positioning and perception. I love that. I love that. All right, Rod, we will definitely look out for that. And you know my memory's not great, so if I don't mention, if you drop in here around the time, just be sure to remind me. So this is interesting. Y'all, don't ignore me. I'm 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 actually looking at another platform. I'm processing information as we're here, and I don't need to be doing that. I'll process it after. All right, y'all. Guess what? Since I came late, we have 45 minutes to go. So we have lots of time, is what I'm saying right now, until the time finishes, and then we don't have lots of time. But anyway. Oh, I was saying where does this shape fall? Again, we're at, this is 5 centimeters was my measurement in that moment. Let's make sure I didn't zoom in. There was a slight zoom. There we go. And then this falls about 1.5 centimeters in. 5, so this is 2.5. See, this is why Rod said use the grid. I'm doing a lot of calculating, which I wouldn't need to. So tomorrow I will bring the grid paper in for y'all so you can see that difference. That's 2.5. So I'm throwing my I'm throwing it in right about here. Because also if I say to myself, all right, I'm going to split this rectangle again in half, the top of that is right about here. So I'm eyeballing this one, y'all. I don't have the energy to process that right now. So what I eyeballed just now is, and I'll walk you through what I was just doing, is if our width of our rectangle, if you remember our red outline rectangle, our initial shape that we're basing everything else on, is 5 centimeters wide. Then what's the distance from here, which is here, to the end of where the windshield hits here, which is actually going to be a triangle shape that I'm going to throw down here. What's that distance? It was y'all, I forgot already. It was like 1 point something. it's about 1.5 centimeters, and then halfway of the 5, of course, would be 2.5. So if this is proportion wise, if this is halfway at 2.5, I'm kind of just eyeballing that this is 1.5 ish. Know what I mean? So that's going to be, this right here is going to be where the the like that joint for the triangle that I determined is going to be the next shape that we work on. So our triangle is going to go here to here, because if you see this here, Max12345, welcome in. Thank you for joining. If you see this here, you see that nice clean triangle shape right here, right to the juncture right here. I'm putting a nice clean triangle right here. So the joint of our triangle is there. I need to figure out now this height from here, which is the top of our rectangle, to here. What's that height? All right, now if I throw down some measurement things going on here, my top to the base of my rectangle is about 3. Oh wow, it's 3 centimeters, which is nice. I like those numbers because then I can probably split it up. All right, so this is 3 centimeters. This, from the top of the roof of the car to the top of the rectangle measured here is 1 centimeter. So it's more than 1 centimeter. It's a little bit more. It's about 1.25. So if this is 2 centimeters, from here to here, which is our rectangle height, is 2 centimeters, and this is a little bit more than 3. Let's do this. I'm going to split. If this is 2 centimeters, this would be 3.25, yeah. A little eyeballing. I am actually really glad that Rod mentioned the grid, because again, I didn't think about it because I tell y'all, the challenge for me sometimes is to think truly like a beginner. Hey Wisdom, how are you? Good morning. And to truly be a beginner, the grid is super helpful. And I'm so used to eyeballing that I didn't think about it. So I will be bringing the grid in here tomorrow as a tool, another tool to show y'all how much easier some of this measurement I'm doing is. Now, I want to show y'all that full spectrum of kind of all these different ways you can approach it. Because I think that all the different ways. Oh, thank you, Wisdom. Thank you for popping in, my friend. Always appreciate that. And wishing you a magical day. I hope it's bright and sunny where you are. Fuji TV1, welcome in. So some of it is, it's the perfect example of if you remember yesterday, I was saying we know this, there are so many ways to get to to one point. So if you have this goal, there are so many ways to approach it. And that's another way, another tool that can support that approach. So I'm bringing it in, and then we're not going to only use the grid. We're not going to only use the rulers. We're not going to only use the eyeball. We'll do a combination of some of them again, so you all will have these varying perspectives of what could work for you to make it easier. Um, and you pick what works best for you. And also, you probably will come up with your own like combination of things that will work best for you. But understanding the bigger picture and the basic foundation of it, then you can pick what you want. Pick what you want. Pick what tool you want to use to support you, and pick your approach so that you can get to it. But this is about figuring out the simplifying, and the grid will help with that. Blondie. All right. Is a losing game. All right. All right. So what we're doing is figuring out our triangle here. So what did I say? Oh, I threw down the top of where the triangle would be. So this is where our triangle here. Oh, not the buggy. We are not working with the buggy. This triangle hits right here. This is that joint, and then we're taking it up here, so we have to pay attention to what that angle looks like. And then this is our, yeah, it's a little around 45 degrees ish. This is our top here. Hey, Artistic Avenue, welcome back. Pog, welcome in. Thank you for joining. So now we actually have a nice little framework to work with here, because here we go. This is what I said I'm going to use as the top, I think. And then this is, we inadvertently have a rectangle here that we can throw. This becomes a pretty accurate 45 degrees there. Glad to have you back, and glad that you are feeling better, Artistic Avenue. I am glad that you took your time to rest and get better. All right, y'all. That is our first shape for the top section of our, that's our shape for the top section of our car there, that triangle. Now, you see this here? We're hitting triangles all around, baby. This is another triangle right here. And we are throwing that triangle down. Because again, the curves, all those things that need to be part of this sketch, the refined sketch, that can come later. So so I'm going to go ahead and throw this triangle. I'm not even going to measure it because we already have these placements here. So I'm just going to throw this triangle down here. And then we're going to just hit a little curve here. So we'll do a semicircle right here, y'all. And there we go. That literally is our outline. And so I simplified the shapes even more here. We started with our basic rectangle. Then we threw down triangle, another triangle, a trapezoid, circles, a triangle, and then a semicircle here. And that is our, now we are not done, but that is, you can see that there. That is our basic framework for that's our basic framework. Thank you for getting your heart, me Artistic Avenue. That's our basic framework for our vehicle there. I'm calling it a vehicle because we're not identifying the specific type of vehicle. Not because we're scared, but because we are, I'm trying to maintain the shapes. We're thinking about it from the shapes perspective. But y'all, we didn't do too badly with some eyeballing and some rulering. I'll take this. I'll take this. Hey, Carol, good morning. Thank you for getting your heart, me. All right, y'all. So remember when we talked about what things we were doing before? We were going to do, oh, thank you for the roses, Carol. How are you this morning? Carol, guess what I have because of you? I have warm tea here to sit with because I do need to keep making sure that I'm protecting this voice of mine. At your reminder and suggestion, Carol West, the voice guru. Yeah, so remember a boats, yes, that hydration, friend. Boats, so the request was vehicles, vehicles and boats. So I just grouped them into one. Sea vehicles and street vehicles. So yeah, sea vehicles and street vehicles. I am really SK, welcome in. Thank you for joining. So I did pick some boats to work with. So Carol, this that you're seeing is TikTok Live Studio. You need to go look at, if you want, go and look at what it looks like on OBS. I mean on YT. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I shouldn't have said go. Oh Lord, I can't even figure it out. What you're seeing here, Carol, is still TikTok Live Studio. Because without the streaming key from TikTok, there's no OBS. We can't do it in OBS. And it's just easier because TikTok is not renewing. Even if they give folks stream keys, they're not renewing them. So I just have my OBS and my TikTok Live Studio next to each other. Same camera sources. So I don't have to worry about looking somewhere different and all of that stuff. I do have some logistics in terms of the placement work to do on the OBS side because I had it all set up perfectly. And then this morning when I went in, please do, Carol. Please do. Yeah, so I just have them side by side. So I'm on. Janine actually was in here earlier, and she went over to YouTube, and she said that the audio was really good. She just told me to make some adjustments in for the placement of the visuals, which I already knew, but I was already running late, and I didn't want to delay it for that reason. So I'm going to fix that when we're done here. They just mentioned it in homeroom. Oh, okay. I am going to homeroom in a little bit. I came on late today, so It's this thing. So, Carol, I think that I think it will all work because I am going to, the tools that I need to acquire for the voice acting work will help me with the audio, the sound stuff here too. Not will help me, will be perfect for it as well, I believe, right? Yes. Um, absolutely. So for now, I don't know why, but this thing is working really well, and I'm not fighting it for right now, Carol, until I get the other stuff. I'm not fighting this old Apple headphone thing. I mean, I'm not fighting it. I'm working with it. It works. The sound is all right, and that's it. I'm not trying to. Ooh, exciting. I'm excited. Yeah, what? Oh, Artistic Avenue, thank you for the your awesomes. Um what Carol is referring to, you all, just as an FYI, Carol is a voice actor and voice acting coach, among other things. But Carol, as part of her superfan offerings, does um, voice coaching, like it's group coaching. But I have decided to invest in Carol's superfan because I've always been interested in voice acting and I just never acted on it. And let me tell y'all something. Carol has been awesome, and I've already adjusted my, like, even my voiceovers for my videos. I've already made adjustments based on two superfan meetings of feedback. So it's been really, really awesome, and we're getting a ton of value. And I'm excited about my voice acting journey. It should be interesting. It will be. But again, it is helping. And again, even from my content perspective, it's good. Caroline, don't leave me, Caroline. Hello. Wait, did Caroline left me? Oh, you did you hear me? Did you hear me yelling your name? Good morning, Caroline. You're back. Wait, Caroline, when the is it Thursday? It's Thursday that school starts? I think it was Thursday you said. Or was it Tuesday? Girl, I don't remember. Today? Why did I think Thursday? Wait, today's what date? The 5th. No, you know what? I mixed up. Monday the 12th. Maybe it was a T, but I think Tuesday and Thursday was when you is those are the only days you had less classes or no classes. Caroline, don't make me doubt my little tiny bit of memory that I have. Okay, I did remember it correctly. I remember that Tuesday and Thursday were the days that you didn't have class. I mean, my memory is bad, but sometimes I remember stuff. No. Good morning, as Kate sees it. But you had to change it. Oh, that's why I remember Tuesday, Thursday, because you were going to go. So you're going to do Monday and Wednesday. So you're not free time because I know you don't have free time, but your days when you don't have class, and so you might have a little looser of a schedule, is Tuesday, Thursday. All right, friend. We'll take note of that and check in with you too. So after Monday the 12th, I can start checking in to see how it's going. So this week, this week you gotta get yourself ready, friend. Get yourself ready. How are you this morning as Kate sees it? And true. Ooh, true. I am so glad to see you because I was thinking about you. Um, because when Artistic Avenue came in, Artistic Avenue was not feeling well also, and is back feeling much better, and it made me think, wait a minute, I haven't seen True yet this morning. How are you doing, my friend? I hope um I hope feeling better. Are you still in that place? Ooh, Caroline, you just leveled up. Oh, lots of tests. Those are not fun. Thank you for the roses, Artistic Avenue. The tests are not fun. I know that. And it feels like it's so much on your body. It's so much stress on your body. All right, friend, we're thinking about you and I'm glad you're here. And if you can hang around till I get off, that would be awesome. Only if it works though. All right, y'all. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start a boat. Let's start the boat, y'all. This is the boat I chose for next. Yeah, I do not want to start late anymore because now I'm gonna try to go the 2 hours, but I'm really hungry already. Oh, right? Oh, let me show you what we did. Caroline, True, you didn't. This is the one I just did. Well, listen to me, just that I spent the whole first hour and a half doing. Or half of the time I'm running my mouth. This is our car, and this is our shape sketch. Our basic shapes laid down. Not bad. This is a terrible. Y'all can barely see. It's not bad. I'll take it. Ooh, orange is your color? And then now we're gonna do this boat. So one of the things that if you all are in here with me sometimes, Rod Parker is a brilliant artist. And he goes live, he's painting when he's live. Oh, look at you. It's like the song knew you were in here. Oh, thank you for the heart puffs. I didn't do that intentionally. Artistic Avenue. That was the universe. All right, so take me to your river. I wanna go. All right, yeah. So for this one, I'm going to throw us down at baseline. Until here, Caroline. Yeah, you know what, Caroline? Part of the reason that I started showing some of these practices, I think what happens is in a lot of instances, especially like on a live stream or in content, you tend to see further along in the process than this. Folks are either almost done, or if they're doing content, they show the progression through super quickly, and so you don't even realize that um that's what folks, well, I shouldn't say that, not everyone starts with shapes, but I have found that in all the years of learning to draw things, in all my art classes, in my art, getting an art degree, and the gazillion drawing classes that I've done, um, is that the 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 identifying of shapes is a way to build the muscle memory of looking at something, and because being able to put something down on paper is about the way you're looking at something. And so, no matter what you're working on, I feel like if I'm able to break it down into basic shapes, like take away what the image is, take away that it is a boat, a car, whatever it is, because you have preconceived notions about what that's supposed to look like on the paper. And I've just found that over the years, no matter what, that has been the easiest approach. Now, as you get more experienced, as you practice it more, and you start to build a muscle memory, you're not going to necessarily throw down the basic shape. As you build that muscle memory, your brain will see the shape and break it down, but you're going to probably, when we go through this and do refined sketch, like the next set of refined sketches, you probably will start there when you're no longer a beginner at this, when you've practiced enough that you've built some muscle memory around it. You saw the shapes, right? And if you all remember, I sometimes tell y'all, when what's his I don't remember his handle now, but he came in here and his mom was an art teacher for many years. And one of the recommendations he had was to, when you have an image, if you want to, flip it upside down, and this way it takes away what the, thanks for the finger hearts, Carol, it takes away what your mind knows this image is, and it's even easier to break down the shape. That may not work for everyone, but it could be helpful for some folks. Dab, I was trying to remember Dab's handle. um but remember, I say all the time, we need to do a line drawing practice. That's, Caroline, that's a practice thing too. Lots of people that are brilliant artists couldn't draw a line. That's something to practice also, because it's not just throw down a line. There is a lot involved with drawing a line. Where you move, where you, if you think about your arm as with the joints, there's a difference between moving from your elbow or moving from your wrist. All of those things have an impact on the ease of drawing a line, and you can practice it. You can get really good at drawing lines. It's the practice part. So, I'm just saying, do a little practice and you will be able to draw these lines that you claim you can't draw. A line drawing practice, exactly. I mean, if I'm supposed to say I'm along this path, I'm I'm further along the path than the drawing lines, but we can do that. Maybe one day next week that will be my. But remember, y'all, I don't know if y'all were in here with me when, I know Be Easy and Blondie were in here with me. When I was doing, oh, True too, probably. When I was doing the hatching and cross hatching exercises, I was drawing lines for weeks in here. They got tired of me, y'all. They didn't want to see the lines anymore. I don't care what they say. I know they didn't. Ambi Bambi, welcome in. Thank you for joining us. So so I am going to approach the boat. And so I'm going to throw down a baseline for the boat. Uh just so that we have a line to work from. Again, you can do this any kind of way. Um so I'm going to say the baseline hits about here. Because really, I'm throwing down this line to be able to use it as a perpendicular marker, frankly, not as anything else. So yesterday I had an interesting challenge here. Um, I was really having a hard time breaking down my image into shapes yesterday because I was trying to process it while doing all the talking and walking y'all through it. And my brain was not computing it really well. I mean, it wasn't inaccurate, but I was forgetting that I was supposed to be approaching it from a beginner's perspective, and I ended up creating something super complicated that I don't think was super helpful for folks. So, what I decided yesterday was I am going to be doing a little bit more prep on my end in terms of this drawing practice, because how do I need to process some of the information before I get on the live stream so that I can be talking through it more and less of me in silence processing, if that makes sense for y'all. It will help me to be able to engage more and show y'all things more easily. So I already processed out shapes here. And let me tell y'all, I already am looking at a different set of shapes than what I originally processed, which is good because, again, it's just a reminder that there are multiple ways that we can approach this. All right, so this line that I threw down, I'm putting that line right here. That line falls right here. And now, y'all, if that line falls right here, if I look at this thing here, we're looking at a big old triangle right here. Right here. Now, let's remember, does this go in from the triangle? Sure. But that's something we'll deal with detail-wise later. Right now, the general shape here is a triangle. So I'm going to do that. Let's do that one triangle. Now, could we do two different triangles here too? Absolutely. That's another way to approach it. We could do it that way. We could do a triangle here. That's a triangle. And this is another triangle. That's two triangles right there. We can get that. There are a couple different ways we can manage it. Pastor Laverne, welcome in. Thank you for joining. Artistic Avenue, I'm live for 2 hours at least. Sometimes I go a little further. I start at 9 a.m. Eastern now, and so I'll go from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. But I did start late. I do not draw something new from I don't do a new practice every morning. So right now we're doing a shape practice, and I've been doing that for probably 2 weeks. And I probably will at least do one more week to maybe another 2 weeks. But what I do try to switch up is, like, in the 2 weeks I started with basic still life drawings, so bottles, fruit, very basic. And then we moved on to building facades, um, at the request of someone. No. Well, then we moved on to building facades. So we were doing straight, simple building facades. And then, just to add a little bit of extra, I don't want to say complication, but taking it a little bit further, we went on to building facades that had some depth in it. But it's all still a shape practice because we are not taking perspective into consideration at all. Does perspective end up showing up? Does depth end up showing up? Absolutely. But we are laying down shapes and placing them based on each, like, in relation to each other and in proportion to each other. And it's just a way of showing folks that you can achieve that level of depth even without knowing perspective. Again, from that super basic lens. So then now I've moved on from buildings to, we're doing vehicles now. So boats, cars, trucks, whatever it is. So sometimes I finish something in one day. Like I finished this today. Sometimes if I start this, I have 10 more minutes. I'll start it. I won't finish it today. So tomorrow morning, I'll pick it back up. But you see how it kind of works in here where I'm running my mouth a lot. We're talking, depends on what's going on in the room. Sometimes I finish more than I do. So what I would do is pick it back up tomorrow morning. This one. So that's why I don't say they're tutorials, because sometimes I'm not starting right from the beginning. It's more it's more of giving folks perspective, explaining what I'm doing so then folks can use that knowledge and apply it in a way that they feel is helpful. And then of course the communal education part of it is I'm always wanting folks to give their opinions, give their thoughts, give their like lens on approaching some of this stuff so that the folks in the room that are trying to learn some things will have different perspectives, because I never think one person's perspective is necessarily always the perspective to go with. So I always encourage the sharing of information so that folks can get different artists' perspective, different thoughts, different again, a different lens on what we're working on. Brushstrokes by L. Collins. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Artistic Avenue. I said a lot of words. I hope that I wasn't just rambling, and I hope it made sense. And I hope it answered your question, my friend. That's the most important thing. Okay, perfect. All right, now, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and break this into, I had come up with two different ideas about how to break this down, but I think I'm going to go ahead and break this down this way. I'm going to split this into one triangle here and then this into another triangle here. So what I am going to have to figure out and address are going to be some angles. All right, so let's see. Again, I threw down a line here so that I could figure out some, as a baseline that helps. So I'm going to hit there is a place in the sand here where there's like a juncture that is where my triangles are going to split. So I threw down that horizontal line there. Whatever, I'm not referring to it as like horizon line or anything like that, because at this point we don't know anything about perspective. We're just laying down shapes. We don't know anything about perspective. So I just threw that down as this is going to be the meeting place of the triangles. It's going to fall on that horizontal line. Now, what angle is this? I can actually use this to kind of determine that angle. It's about a 45-degree angle. It might not be precise, but from an eyeball perspective, it's about a 45-degree angle. I brought my my triangles this time so that we can use the triangle to gauge. All right, so if I put my triangle here at my baseline and move it down, yep, it's about a 45-degree angle we're looking at right there. So I'm going to go ahead with a 45-degree angle. And our first shape how I do it is my first shape is just then becomes the guide for the rest of the shapes. I don't do any measuring for the first shape. I eyeball based on how large I know I want the sketch to be. Um, so I'm not going to do any any eyeballing for the first shape. I mean any measuring for the first shape. I'm just going to throw. I'm already looking at this and I'm like, I hope I give myself enough space at the top there. We might be hitting the bottom of this car, but it's all right. Let's see. I think I should have enough. I won't make it too big. So I'm throwing down this 45-degree angle here. Again, just eyeballing. This is our, that's how we're gauging our angle here. And I'm just throwing it down here, a little eyeball here, and then I'll throw this line up here. Now this is not a straight line. That's another thing we have to pay attention to. If we're going to go down the road of using triangles, we need to pay attention to the angle. I'm starting to throw up a straight line, but that's just for me to use it as a gauge to measure what angle this is, because this is where I'm splitting my triangle. So my triangle is here, here, here. That's my flat triangle. But what angle is this? All right, let's see. Chris E, back on. Are you still here? So as we're talking through this, I always say, if eyeballing feels good to you, eyeball. If using a ruler is what feels good to you, use a ruler. Whatever tools you need to use to make this easier for you or to make this approachable for you, use them. I have a handy dandy ruler here that I probably will use to try to make that eyeball. Not to make the eyeball, but it helps determine the angle. So this ruler is actually helpful because it has these grooves where the angle is marked. You don't need to have this. You can create lines, grid lines, to help you figure out what the angle is. Tomorrow, Rod came in and made the suggestion of using showing grid paper as one of the resources as well. I am going to do that because I want y'all to see like the range of tools or resources that can make things easier. Okay, so we are where this angle sits is it's a little bit more than 75, but not quite 90. So I would probably say it's about an 80-degree angle. But since I already have it identified with my ruler here, I'm just going to go ahead and use the ruler to throw it down. So if I had a straight line, this is where my straight line would sit. This is my 80-degree angle here. Again, that's something I could have eyeballed, but if I have a tool to help me, I'm going to use the tool. So it's about an 80-degree angle. I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, would I have eyeballed it that steep? But yeah, it is, because it was almost 90. It could have looked. So this is this side of our triangle. Now, what's this angle here? I'm going to figure out that angle. Thanks for using the stickers, Carol. Reminding me also that I need to create more stickers. Haha. So now I need to figure out this angle. And I'll create my first triangle. And that will be my first shape that I will then use everything else in relation to. I will measure everything else in relation to that first shape. All right, let's see. Now I have my line here. That's supposed to be my that's my meeting point. So that's my horizontal line that I'll gauge the angle size at. Y'all, I'm trying to make y'all be able to see things, and I can't do it because I need to do some work here. Oops. And Pinterest is like, stop. All right, so this is, oh Lord, good Lordy. Let me use, because I think this is actually, let's see. Yeah, baby. that is, that is, that is a, that's a 30-degree right there. Let me make sure. I think a 45 would be a little steep. Yeah. Oh no, that's a 60. What am I talking about, y'all? Oh, it's a 30. All right, so I'm just going to use my ruler because clearly I'm getting myself all mixed up. This is the correct angle. So I'm going to go ahead and use my ruler and throw down my meeting line because this is the correct angle. I'm trying not to make sure I'm not that I'm getting my right thing. So this triangle that I just put down here, 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 that's my initial triangle. That's this right here. Now we would throw down this. I need to stop saying throw down. I keep saying throw down. So actually what I'm going to do is, since I am at 2 hours, and because I came on late, I need to get to, I actually need to go to another live. Um, I'm at 2 hours, so I am going to pick this one back up. So now that we have the first, I'll pick this up tomorrow morning. So now that we have the first shape here, all the other shapes will be in proximity to this shape. And right now, I am really, I'm not going to hit it. I won't be able to get this here because I'm so close to the car. I knew it once I laid that line on, and I should have given us some more shape, but it will make for an interesting look when we go into the detail part. So this is our first shape here. Again, this triangle here. And then the next thing we'll do tomorrow is throw down this other half here. And then we'll have one side of our boat. Y'all, thank you for being here. I will be back here again tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern, and we'll pick this back up. I appreciate you all for sticking around. And if you have, thank you, Artistic Avenue. And maybe I will see you in the TikTok streets today. So and if not, have a fabulous, fabulous day. Oh, thank you, Artistic Avenue. It is, I appreciate any time that folks spend with me. And I hope it can be valuable to a lot of folks. So take care, everyone. And yes, have a beautiful day.